Hi guys. A little bit of sad news, I guess you could say. Well, let me bring the cage down and then I'll talk about it. Okay, so there is some good news and some bad news. The good news is I've decided to do the right thing, at least as far as I can call it. I gave Minnie back. I gave the girl back. The other one I really truly suspect is a boy. I could be wrong, but I'll keep trying. If I find out that it is a girl, I'll give it back. It's not worth the $13 and the latter result. I was talking to someone on YouTube and I realized that, yes, the pet store said they will take any and all babies off my hand. And, yes, these guys are meant as feeders. Like, these are meant to be fed to snakes. Most people don't buy the mice at the store to have them as pets, but you could. But But the thing is, they can, from what I can read, there's one right here. The two eyeballs, there you go. They can have anything between, like, I think 1 and 32, if I didn't misread. The thing is, at the most I plan to keep is one of each. See, the thing is, they said the boys might fight, but the boy and the girl gets along, but neutering them costs like $250 possibly. I was thinking more like $30, $40 to neuter it. So of course the only other option is a girl and a girl. Problem is the ones in the pet store are kept together. The boys and the girls. All ages. From like newborn all the way up. So getting two girls is not a good idea. Because you're going to be swamped with babies if they all have like a humongous litter. Obviously if you get them at two different ages they may not get along. And yada yada. So I don't even know what cow is. Cow could be a girl, it could be a boy. I think it really is a boy because I don't see any nipples, and it looks kind of like Mickey's private parts. Yes, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I think that was the best choice because either she's not able to get pregnant right now, so I didn't cause anything by keeping them in this bin together, even though they were in a bin array together at the store. But I think that it was for the best, because this way I don't have to worry about what I'm doing, because the thing is, it's all fine if the store takes them, but what if I fall in love with them? I cannot keep breaking up these litters, because the boys apparently don't want to be together, usually. The possibility right now is that Cow is okay with Mickey only because they're so young. I don't even know if these two will get along. So if I add a girl into the mix and then have babies, because I've never done this before, I've never had mice, right? So I'll wait for the guy to answer back regarding what I might do. But I've already made one decision. I think it's the best decision because before I get attached to the girl, I think if I really want to stop this whole idea of letting them have a litter and then splitting them up or neutering or whatever, I think I should get rid of the girl before I get attached. And Minnie already has a really cute name, so like if I hang on to the girl too, I think, that's not a good thing. I don't know if Cow will even get along. If Cow doesn't get along, though, I will rehome. I am not making another cage. I really don't want to because I'm moving. The idea is I'll move in April or early May, end of April, early May, so I really don't want to be making more bin cages. I'm going to ask my parents if I can move back home, but even so, I really don't want that many when I'm moving. It's after I move, if I want to build the cages, if there's space, great, but and not to mention that there is still a possibility that these guys, I didn't intervene in time. And then there's also the robos. I could split them up. They're not very easy to breed, so it's not a big deal. I mean, the chances of them breeding, even if they're put together, is very low. They're actually one of the hardest breeds to breed. And then as for the gerbil, well, the store will definitely take the gerbils. And I'm definitely not keeping all the babies. Um, but just because it would be a nightmare with the bedding, the cost of the bedding. Because I don't want to use pine. And as for the Russian winter white, I am keeping the litter. Maybe not the whole litter. It depends on how many I have. I will rehome them. I have one girl that actually wanted one, and then another lady's been asking and asking and asking for a hamster. Every month or so, she emails me, asking, "Am I breeding any hamsters? Do I have any babies?" And I'm like, "No, I kind of stopped breeding them, but I did put some back together." And I say, if I have it, sure, they're free, providing you show me a cage that's the appropriate size, and I'm not telling you what size. I'm just going to tell you the species, and you're going to show me a cage that's the right one for the right species, So if I give you a dwarf and you show me a picture of a 12-inch wheel, well, I'm going to be looking at you like, huh? Yeah, how do you expect that thing to use that? But I mean, hey, bigger's always better than small, but my point is, it shows at least they're willing. Yeah, so that's what I did. I don't know if it's the right thing. It just feels like the right thing to do. I mean, I really shouldn't have brought the thing home. But, I guess, in that store with so many, and you feel guilty, and, and you figure Mickey might like a friend, and a girlfriend would get along best. You just don't think that far. But when you get home, you start pondering about the ethics of letting them live in a bin together, and then the rampant breeding that happens, because they are very good breeders. You should see at the store that they were in. The cages have like 3 generations, and when they went to the store, there was only 1 generation. Somebody brought these in. They brought a pair in who had some babies, and then the babies have now matured enough that they've had their own babies, so they must have been there at least like a couple months. So one of them at least had babies, because there's like 3 different stages. Either that or mom had another litter, something like that. But there's like 3 different age groups in there, not including the mom and dad. So we're talking at least 3 litters plus the mom and dad. So it's quite rampant. So if I breed these guys, of course I'm obviously, unless they have 2, right? But then again, what am I going to do with the rest of the babies? Because I'm only prepared to give them to the pet store, and I know what's mostly going to happen to the babies anyway. But the only difference is these ones will be tamed by me before I give it to them, and it's going to feel really horrible to surrender them to a pet store that is going to feed them to snakes. That's, like, I'm worried that when the time comes, I won't be able to do it. And then I'm going to have a really, really big problem on my hands if I can't surrender them. Because, before I got these guys, I never looked at them in this manner. I just thought mice were like Tim Horton Timbits cut in half. So like half a Timbit, round, white, with red eyes, and a little tail. Kind of like the ones you see on cartoons, the mouse, the round mouse that looks like a toonie. Kind of like, that's what I thought they were. I never knew they had so much personality, or just... they have character, and they do reciprocate. When you stroke them, they seem to like it. I thought they were the bitey, mean things that you find in your kitchen, but that people just decide to keep them as pets. I was pretty shocked. This stemmed, I'll just be quick, this whole thing stemmed from one girl when I took Speedo in to get him neutered. A girl walked in the pouring rain. She came to the vet. She walked about half an hour in the rain because she has no car, and she wanted to ask to see a vet. And when the secretary asked, "What is it about?" and it's like, "Well, my cat got my pet mouse." And I looked at her like, "Did I hear you right?" And basically, the cat bit it, and it had puncture wounds all over it. And I was looking at her like, "What the hell do you think the vet's gonna do? It's so tiny. Wouldn't it be cheaper, to get another one? They're a dime a dozen, literally." But anyway, when I took a look at it, it was all bloody. But when it came back out, it was bandaged. The vet had cleaned the wound and gave it some ointment or something. But it was $35 bill. So, I'm looking at it like, was it really worth $35? It's just a mouse. But now that I see Mickey, I know that that's not the case. So I don't know if I can surrender babies to them, the pet store, knowing that they'll be fed to a snake. So that's why I gave Minnie back, just so you guys know.